What happens when celebrities leave their luxurious lifestyles behind and dive straight into the deep with sharks and whales? These 10 famous stars took the ultimate risk, swimming with some of the ocean's most powerful creatures. And trust me, number 1 will leave you shocked. Before we dive in, make sure to check the special link in the description for an exclusive bonus. Now let's jump in. Number 10. Rihanna, face to face with sharks. Rihanna doesn't just dominate the music charts. She also faced her fears by swimming with sharks. In 2015, she posed underwater for Harper's Bazaar alongside real-life sharks. No CGI, no tricks, just Rihanna and some of the ocean's deadliest predators. Would you be brave enough to try this? Number 9. January Jones, protecting the sharks. January Jones, best known for Mad Men, didn't just swim with sharks. She became an ambassador for ocean conservation. She dived with these misunderstood creatures to help promote their protection. Unlike in the movies, sharks aren't villains, but that doesn't mean it wasn't terrifying. Number 8. Anderson Cooper, risking it for journalism. Anderson Cooper took things to a whole new level when he dove with sharks off the coast of Cuba for 60 minutes. The news anchor wanted to show the world the truth about sharks up close. And let's just say, it was a little too close for comfort. Number 7. Tom Holland, swam with killer whales. Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man himself, once revealed he swam with orcas. Yes, actual killer whales. During a trip to Hawaii, he experienced the raw power of these magnificent creatures. But here's the thing, killer whales are apex predators. One wrong move, and things could have gone very differently. Number 6. Hayden Panettiere almost didn't make it. Actress Hayden Panettiere loves the ocean, but one of her shark encounters nearly turned into a nightmare. She once admitted that a close encounter while scuba diving left her shaken. Imagine locking eyes with a shark in the wild. What would you do? Number 5. Will Smith, the Shark Challenge. Will Smith took on a personal fear when he went shark diving for a YouTube special. The actor wanted to conquer his fear of the ocean and ended up swimming side by side with some massive sharks. And believe it or not, he loved it. Number 4. Chris Hemsworth, Thor vs. the Sharks. Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor, has swum with sharks multiple times. The Australian actor filmed an entire documentary about sharks, hoping to show the world why they're so important to the ocean's ecosystem. But just because he's a superhero on screen doesn't mean he wasn't nervous. Number 3. Leonardo DiCaprio, shark attack scare. Leonardo DiCaprio once had a terrifying shark encounter. While diving in South Africa, a great white shark actually entered his diving cage. He later called it one of the most horrifying moments of his life. Talk about Titanic Part 2, but underwater. Number 2. Zac Efron, swam with the biggest shark. Zac Efron got up close with a whale shark, the largest shark species on Earth. Unlike great whites, whale sharks are gentle giants. But that doesn't make them any less intimidating. Can you imagine swimming next to a 30-foot-long shark? Number 1. Elon Musk, the wildest encounter yet. Yes, even billionaire Elon Musk has had an insane shark encounter. The Tesla founder was once seen freediving near sharks while on vacation. But knowing Musk, he was probably thinking about how to build an underwater Tesla while doing it. And that's it. 10 celebrities who faced the ultimate underwater challenge. Which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. Oh, so you're still here? Alright then, let me tell you a shark story that will both educate and entertain you. And trust me, you might never see these creatures the same way again. Sharks have been roaming our oceans for over 400 million years, making them older than dinosaurs. These creatures are the apex predators of the sea, but despite their reputation, they're not the mindless killers Hollywood makes them out to be. In fact, you're more likely to be struck by lightning or even attacked by a vending machine than to be bitten by a shark. But let's talk about one of the wildest and most terrifying shark encounters ever recorded. In 1982, a group of divers went exploring off the coast of South Africa. Everything was going smoothly until one of them, Rodney Fox, a world-famous shark expert, suddenly found himself in the jaws of a massive great white shark. It clamped down on him, dragging him deep into the water. Imagine being in total silence, watching the surface fade away, feeling the sheer power of this prehistoric beast pulling you into the abyss. Fox fought back with everything he had. He punched the shark in the gills, grabbed onto its eye, and in a desperate move, forced his arm down its throat to stop it from biting him again. Miraculously, the shark let go, and he swam to the surface, barely alive. He had to get over 400 stitches, but he survived. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Instead of fearing sharks, Rodney Fox became one of their biggest protectors. He went on to pioneer the first ever shark cage diving experience, allowing people to witness these majestic creatures up close, safely. And here's the crazy part. Despite their fearsome reputation, sharks are actually in danger because of humans. Over 100 million sharks are killed every year, mostly for their fins, which are used in expensive soups. This has caused some species to become endangered. So, the next time you see a shark, don't think of them as terrifying monsters. They're actually essential to the ocean's ecosystem. Without them, the entire balance of marine life could collapse. But let me ask you this. Would you ever swim with sharks? Back in 1997, a man named Richard Hargreaves, an experienced diver and deep-sea explorer, set off on what was supposed to be a routine dive off the coast of Australia. Richard had dived in some of the most dangerous waters in the world, and nothing scared him. Not even the infamous great white shark territory he was entering. But this time, something was different. Richard and his team had been out at sea for hours. The water was eerily calm. The sky was turning a deep orange as the sun began to set, and there was an unsettling silence. No birds, no fish, just the sound of gentle waves. Experienced sailors and divers will tell you, when the ocean goes quiet, something big is lurking beneath. Ignoring his gut feeling, Richard geared up and took the plunge into the deep blue. He was armed with an underwater camera, hoping to capture rare footage of sharks in their natural habitat. For the first few minutes, everything seemed normal, until he noticed the shadows moving in the distance. The unseen predator. As he hovered near the seabed, something massive passed behind him. Not just big, colossal. At first, he thought it was a whale, but the movement was too stealthy, too precise. When he turned around, nothing was there. The silence was deafening. And then, out of nowhere, bam! Something rammed into him with incredible force, knocking the camera out of his hands. Richard struggled to regain control as he turned to see a great white shark, bigger than anything he had ever witnessed before. But this wasn't just any shark. It was the legendary deep blue, a 20-foot-long great white, one of the largest sharks ever recorded. It was so massive that its head alone looked like the size of a small car. Its eyes locked onto Richard, and for the first time in his life, he felt true fear. Sharks don't usually attack humans unprovoked, but this one wasn't acting normal. It was circling him, studying him, as if trying to decide what to do next. Every instinct in Richard's body told him not to panic, because panicking in front of a shark is like running in front of a hungry lion. But then, something even crazier happened. The second shadow. Just as Richard was preparing to slowly back away, a second shadow appeared from the deep. This one was even bigger. At first, Richard thought he was seeing things, but no. This was another giant shark, possibly even bigger than Deep Blue. The two sharks started circling each other, ignoring Richard completely. It was like watching two titans preparing for battle. Then, in a flash, the second shark charged at Deep Blue. A massive underwater clash erupted as the two giants collided, creating a shockwave that sent Richard tumbling backward. It was a fight for dominance, right in front of his eyes. Richard, realizing this was his only chance to escape, slowly started ascending toward the boat, keeping his eyes on the battle below. Blood filled the water as the sharks bit and slammed into each other with incredible force. It was a rare event. Sharks rarely fight like this, and to witness it firsthand was beyond anything he could have imagined. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Richard broke the surface and was hauled onto the boat by his team. He gasped for air, his heart pounding in his chest, but he was alive. The crew stared at him, wide-eyed, as he pointed to the water. And then, in the distance, Deep Blue emerged, her body covered in fresh scars, but still undefeated. She disappeared into the ocean, leaving Richard and his crew speechless. The truth about sharks. Now, let me ask you something. What would you have done in Richard's situation? And before you go, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more crazy stories. You won't want to miss what's coming.